Hello subscribers and non-subscribers. I am currently installing Windows 10 Technical Preview as a virtual machine using Oracle VM VirtualBox. Let's go ahead and just continue on with the installation. And yes, install now. And of course the purpose of this is just to honestly sort of see how long it takes to install. But yeah, honestly I don't think it's something that would generally be considered important. Let's just say install Windows only. And yep, that's the virtual hard drive I created. So yep, install onto that. And I'll have a link in the description to the actual link or the article that I used to figure out how to do this. But if you're using Windows 7, I will advise you to download version 4.3.12 because that version is the version I'm using and it actually works. For whatever reason, version 4.3.16 hangs at the startup of trying to even get to this phase. You're not able to get here with Windows 7 64-bit, at least on my end, and it seems that's sort of a common issue for a lot of people. But apparently it's fixed in one of the later versions that I guess is yet to be released, so that's not exactly great. But if you have Windows 8 or 8.1, you should be fine with version 4.3.16 of Oracle VM VirtualBox. But if you have Windows 7 64-bit, just go and download version 4.3.12. That version on my end worked, and it seems like it works for a number of other people. So, yeah. And I'm actually going to go and just cut off my mic now. And I think I might potentially fast forward this, but I don't know. It depends on how long it takes. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to go and mute my mic for now, since I'm actually trying to eat lunch at the time of which I'm recording this, so I don't think you guys want to hear me eating food. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. In case any of you guys are curious, if you have a 32-bit system, I do not advise trying to do a virtual machine personally. The reason for that is simply due to um, the reason why I advise not using a doing a virtual machine with a 32-bit system is simply because it's somewhat similar to emulation, and emulation requires a fairly hefty system if you don't want to experience potential issues down the line with it, or not down the line, but performance issues with it. So if you have a 64-bit system, sure, go ahead, do this. If you have a 32-bit system, while you probably can do it, just don't complain when your performance is worse than what it is in your actual operating system. But again, that's just my advice, because like I said, it is somewhat similar to emulation in idea, or in the concept of it. And it's taken a pretty decent amount of time, but that's pretty understandable. You'd probably have to go somewhere else to try to find a sort of comparison. And granted, when you're installing the operating system, it's not that important really, so yeah. It's not really that important if it takes forever to install. But of course, there are ways around that when you're actually installing the operating system, especially if you're installing it on multiple machines. You can just get a hard drive cloner, I think they're called, something along those. They're called something along those lines. I don't actually know off the top of my head what they're actually called, but I know my high school had some, and they generally used them when installing XP on the systems, because they were not allowed to give Windows 7 away, or computers using Windows 7 away. But now they are, because Windows XP is no longer supported, so yeah. Or at least I'm pretty sure now they're allowed to give away Windows 7 computers. And of course, the virtual box has to reboot there. Much like when you're actually installing the operating system on your computer. And in case anyone's curious, I'm using Bandicam to record this because, well, DxTory would more than likely not be capable of recording a virtual machine. And I mean, maybe it is, but I'm not going to bother trying, on the off chance that it isn't, so I can avoid wasting my time. When I know Bandicam, I can just tell it to record in a window or a certain portion of my screen, and so on and so forth. In this case, I'm telling it to record a window, but if I were to actually minimize this window, it would end up just recording whatever is behind it, more than likely. Okay, there we go. I was getting a little bit worried there. Because we just had a black screen for like a good minute or whatever, something like that. And I'll probably do a couple of videos of messing around in Windows 10. I don't know exactly how long they will be. It will all depend really on how long they are, or how long it is that I record Windows 10. Okay, now while we wait for this, I'm gonna walk away for a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. Uh, Customize. Your character network, do you want to... Sure, whatever. Off, off. Well, actually, no, screw it. Just use express settings. I don't actually care. Oh, yes, and of course. Well, because I'm going to have to set my account, I'm going to actually stop recording once it asks for my email address, because I am not going to give you guys my... Well, unless I have the ability to, yeah, I don't think it's possible for me to tell it to, not require this. So yeah, I'm going to stop recording for a split second while I put in this info, so one moment. Okay, never mind. Actually, it appears it's possible to sign in without a Microsoft account, so let's just go over here. As long as it's the same as, yeah, Windows 8. We shall just give it my account name, and you know what? We won't bother with a password because I don't really care. This is just a virtual machine. Yes, hello, Microsoft. And I'm sure you are. My God, it's hot in my house right now. AC's taken forever to actually do anything. And in case any of you guys are curious, chances are I will end up upgrading to Windows 10 sometime after its release. Exactly how long I can't say. It might be a couple months, which is the most likely scenario.